Well, welcome along to the Timeform Sporting Live Weekend Best Bets. Cracking action as well, both sides of the Irish Sea. David Orr joined by Ben Linfoot and Kieran Clark. Primarily, let's kick off with the Betfair Chase, a Grade 1 contest. We don't get many Grade 1 staying chases in the UK right now. We've got one here. We've also got the Timeform ratings. Looking at these, Kieran, thank goodness Paul Nicholls is rolling the dice. He's bothered Big Johnny G's dice to run Brave Man's Game. Yeah, he's a class act, isn't he? Isn't he? You see there 184 on his weight adjusted rating. Last year's winner Protectorat. This is a much much deeper renewal, but he only beat Eldorado Ellen and an aging fraud on a Bristol de Mai last year. But we know he's going to be primed for it. But on form, you'd think Brave Man's Game is the one to beat with that Charlie Hall prep behind him. Correct Rambler should come on for that Kelso run, but you think of him, he's a second part of the season horse, isn't he really? And Royal Pagaille loves Haydock. You know, he lumped a big weight when he won here in the past. I just don't think he's good enough. So the right place to start Brave Man's Game. Let's start with that video for the Bet365 Charlie Hall Chase at Wetherby. Didn't quite go according to plan, even though it looks like he's going to do here. He's in the orange silks on the right hand side. Yeah, he makes a terrible mistake at last, so we'll see in a minute. I was actually there this day and he looked fit enough in the paddock, but you could tell Gentleman's Game had a run. He just looked a lot more forward. I'm expecting him to come on for this, and I still don't think he'd have won if he'd have jumped the last. I think he was just starting to empty here, and he lunged at it, but he's still in front there, and he just gets tired on the running. Personally, I just thought he'd come on for that. Paul Nicholls ran the likes of Red Wrist that day, who was primed for that day. At Brave Man's Game, I think he'll come on for the run. He's shaped to me like a horse that would be of loads of interest to win another King George. And the trip, 3 mile, 1.5, I don't think the trip will be a problem. He saw out the Gold Cup well enough. The softening ground scoop, is that a concern for you at all?
No, I don't think so. I think my gut feeling with Brave Man's Game is he's after that run at Wetherby, he's going to be spot on for this.
Yep.
He's such a metronomic jumper, isn't he? And I think the track and trip and everything is ideal for him. Although we'll get on to Protectorat, and he's a worthy rival.
Interesting that Paul's gone for this. It wasn't the plan after Wetherby, it was straight to Haydock, and then it was floated around, was it? The last week it's been ferned up. He's clearly doing things right at Ditchett and to decide, we'll go.
I think with Paul Nicholls, he's spotting these opportunities, isn't he? I think he looked at the Charlie Hall and thought, well, this is winnable, even with a 75% fit Brave Man's Game. It didn't quite work out, and now he's looked at the Betfair Chase and think this is a great opportunity.
200 grand, you can't turn down an opportunity like that. No, you can't, but he was prepared to do so. It wasn't the plan originally, so thank goodness he's here. Protectorat's defending his crown. This is Dan Skelton's. He's targeted this race. This is all about him. He's not even looking beyond Saturday with Protectorat. This is him winning last season's Scoop. He's in the blue cap in front in total control, but like Kieran said, it's a different race this time around.
It is a different race, but this was a good performance 12 months ago. You can pick apart the form in behind, but Protectorat jumped brilliantly this day. He was so quick over his obstacles, and he really sort of threw his hat into the ring for a race like the Cheltenham Gold Cup. And I think if he's in this form, it's not going to be easy for Brave Man's Game. Like I said before, I do think he'll be just good enough to get the job done, but I can see them having a real ding-dong battle up the straight if Protectorat is in this sort of form that he was a year ago. Now, Dan Skelton's yard, we've discussed it a few times on this video in the last few weeks. It's not operating at the win strike rate he normally does and traditionally does at this time of year, and that is just on your mind with Protectorat going first time out. But he had win surgery before that run last year, same again this time. I expect that he's going to put in a performance similar to that. Interesting,
we had Dan on Get Stuck In this week. He made the point that Cheltenham at the November meeting, there was one horse that targeted that meeting. It had been trained for the race. It finished second in the amateur riders race on the first day. He wasn't too concerned then, but definitely first time out isn't. They're not firing as they have done in previous seasons on their reappearance. How's it going to be run? Let's have a look at the pace now. There's only 4 runners. Kieran, how's this going to unfold? I think Darrell will make all Brave Man's Game. His jumping is such an asset. He could potentially take Lemps out of these at fences. He's so accurate. I think Harry Skelton and Charlie Deutsch will track the pace, and Correct Rambler will be ridden like he normally is. He'll be held up out the back and come in to maybe pick up a place, but I think it's all roads lead to Aintree again with him. I just think he'll make all. I think he'll win Brave Man's Game.
Yeah, I don't think they'll want to give Darrell and Brave Man's Game too much rope up front, and I would expect Harry Skelton to be keeping fairly close tabs on him on the first circuit.
It's not the only top-class staying chase in action we've got. We've got the John Durkan at Punchestown on Sunday. The reappearance of Galopin Des Champs. We last saw him getting beaten at Punchestown by Fast or Slow. He reopposes. He's in against 5 stablemates as well. So it's a fascinating John Durkan. Let's get the thoughts now of Patrick Mullins about Sunday's race.
So great to get Galopin back on track. He obviously won this last year. It's 2 weeks earlier this year, but I don't think that won't do him any harm. And look, obviously he lost his title as such to Fast or Slow and Punchestown last year. Perhaps the Gold Cup left a bit of a mark on him, but perhaps Fast or Slow is just a rapidly improving horse. So this will tell a lot. Dropping back to 2.5 miles is no problem for our fella. And yeah, we're really looking forward to getting him going. But we've also got some other very good horses there as well. Blue Lord set the fair standard, 2.5, no problem for him. Ascot Valon was second, Classical Dream in the fair target punch on last year. He was going very well in this race one year where he unseated at the third last, which of course he does have that in him. And I think I'm going to get the ride Appreciated, who I'm really looking forward to get on. He disappointed us probably last year, but I think he's better than that. I think he's better than his Bear form, even though it's all very good form. So I'd be expecting Appreciated to be running very well, although Galopin should be very hard to beat.
Patrick there, Scoop. He sort of said we're going to find out a bit more about that Punchestown form on Sunday. I suppose the only question mark you've ever got about a Gold Cup winner is how they bounce back from that race. He was beaten on his run at Punchestown. Is he going to get beaten to John Durkan?
I think it'd be more of a surprise if he got beaten this Sunday than it was at the Punchestown Festival. It's always a bit of after the Lord's Mayor show, isn't it, Punchestown? And I just think he is forgiven that run at the end of a season after in which he won the Cheltenham Gold Cup. It's interesting because Fast or Slow, the horse that beat him, he's turned up again on Sunday, which makes it a really fascinating race, doesn't it? And also you can throw the trip into that mix because they're running over 2.5 on Sunday as well. Now, Galopin Des Champs is obviously proven over 3, but he's got gears, this horse. I would expect him to be able to answer all the questions on Sunday afternoon.
I'll be very surprised if he doesn't win. I know Fast or Slow ran at Cheltenham as well, but one ran in the Ultima, one ran in a gruelling Gold Cup, and I just think the run came too soon for him at Punchestown, like I said.
You won it last year, didn't you? 2 weeks earlier this time around the John Durkan, but a wetter autumn means I've got more work into my apparently. So it'd be fascinating to see that on Sunday. On Saturday, we've got at Ascot, I'm going to get the name out, the Nerven Spa 1965 Chase, Grade 2 contest. And this, sadly, is where, in my opinion, is where Shishkin runs rather than the Betfair Chase. We thought it was a Gold Cup horse. We thought he was heading for this Betfair Chase. If come here, you can understand why, Ben Linfoot, because you've written a column explaining why.
Well, I just think it's all about the King George for Shishkin. And Nicky Henderson, unsurprisingly, has gone for a gentler preparation than the Betfair Chase in running him here at Ascot. Against Pic D'Orhy, a horse that he smashed, didn't he? 16 lengths in that Betfair Ascot Chase last February, and it could be a similar performance on Saturday, although Pic D'Orhy, we were sort of saying off air, this is his Gold Cup, he's going to be off for his life, isn't he, under Harry Cobden, who's down at Ascot. So it'd be another interesting race to watch and view. I think it's all about Kempton for Shishkin. So it's a bit of a platform for him. I still expect him to get the job done.
Let's talk about Shishkin. He's clear top rated on time form, Kieran, coming into this race. Cheek pieces go on for the first time. Now, we've got video footage of him winning at Aintree. Is this a top performance that made you think you can see why they're reaching for the headgears? They're in second in the yellow and black silks.
Yeah, throughout the majority of last season, apart from when he won at Ascot, I thought he's screaming out for headgear, and I'm a bit unsure about the drop back in trip. I know he won over this course and distance last year, but he screamed stamina in this. Ahoy Senor's, got first run on him. You think he's going to win. He gets in a bit close to the last, but Shishkin was really motoring home, and I think he'll take to the cheek pieces. But he's this kind of horse that won't surprise me if he didn't take to them as well. But they should sharpen him up. He runs a bit behind the bridle now as he's getting older, and I just think 2 mile 5 round here with the race fit. Pic D'Orhy is going to be trained for the minute, and Nicky's not going to have Shishkin 100% ready, I don't think. And it reminds me of that old Surname Altior race where I just think they're going to ride Pic D'Orhy like the road Surname. They're going to go from the front and try run the fitness out of Shishkin. Yes, on ratings, Shishkin's well clear, but it is a case of this might be a means to an end. Whereas Pic D'Orhy, I think that 2-1, there might be a bit of value there.
Bit of value to run Pic D'Orhy. You sticking with Shishkin?
Yeah, Shishkin for me. I think he'll be a dominant winner on Saturday ahead of Christmas.
Just before we get the guys' best bets for the weekend elsewhere, remind episode 4 of our excellent new series in conjunction with the PGA, Taking the Reins, premieres 6 p.m. on our YouTube channel on Thursday. Cam Hardy is the guest in the hot seat this time round. It's another cracking watch, and here's a little teaser for what you can expect.
When my claim went, that's when everything else went. Man, I'm not racing, I'm struggling more.
It's Cam Hardy and Stormy Girl out in front, and Stormy Girl has won the Flying Fillies.
It's when you're winning and to get the reception there, that's what you live for. Hannon said, right, we'll go for the title. Everything took off.
Mondomesh down the near side is closing, inching closer, another thriller.
A lot of money on very young shoulders, and there's a lot of things I wish I could look back at now and say, well, you shouldn't have done that, or why did you do that?
Tremendous series at Taking the Reins, so please do catch that out if you can. 6 p.m, as I say, premieres Sporting Life YouTube channel on Sunday. Before then, you two guys will have given us a big race winner, or a winner from elsewhere on Saturday. It's time for your Saturday best bet. Kevin Clark, you can go first.
Yeah, I like Fred Arm in the Hurst Park handicap chase. Now, Boot Hill won this last year. He also won Ascot last time out, but he's now off a mark of 155 and he has to shoulder 12 stone, and that'll be a negative for me. And Fred Arm ran really well behind him on his reappearance, shaped as if he'd come on for it. Now it's French for Brothers in Arms, and it's trained by Skelton, but Harry's at Haydock, so it's ridden by Tristan Durrell claiming 5. So with that claim, he's off 10 stone 1. He's always struck me as a horse that's got a big 2-mile handicap in him. He's shaped well at Ascot a few times, and yes, it can be hard to come from off the pace there. That's the only worry I have, but I think he's going to get it teed up. The price is already starting to go, and I can't even blame you because you've tipped against him. But yeah, around 6 to 1, 11 to 2, I think he's worth a bet in the 3:15 at Ascot.
I wonder if producer Dom can play Brothers in Arms behind that, the Dice Straits.
Lovely that one.
Haunted melody. Yeah. Ben, what's your best bet for Saturday?
I'm going early, Dave. 12:05 at Haydock, and Camsinas for Fergal O'Brien and the Noel Feely Racing Syndicate, who won this race last year with Tamara, as you might remember. This horse, I think, has got the best form in the race because he was second to Lookaway in that Sky Bet novices hurdle at the Cheltenham October meeting. Obviously, Lookaway came out and ran a fantastic race in the Great Wood, finishing second. And in the October race, Camsinas just found a bit of trouble coming down the hill, ran on really strongly for second up the hill. And yeah, he's the form pick for me on that run, and I think he can get the job done in the 12:05.
12:05. You can tell winter's here when we're having our best bets in the 12:05 contest. Thanks to Ben, thanks to Kevin. No Ben next week, but we are back to preview Covell Gold Cup weekend at Newbury. Fantastic fixture, fantastic race that, and Constitution Hill's back too in the Betfair Fighting Fit. So loads to look forward to next weekend, but before then, best of luck with your own bets this Saturday. Fingers crossed it's a cracking Betfair Chase.